Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, I had some technical difficulties, but again, this is Cheryl Echeverria of Echeverria Travel, and today's Monday, July 15th, 2019, and I'm coming to you from Echeverria Travel here in Kissimmee, Florida. We would love to see you like, love, especially ask a question, because we need to know that you're out there with us today and listening in and following along. If you're looking, actually, why is she looking at her computer? It's pretty rude. I apologize. I am just making sure we're all on the same page together. And sometimes Facebook and my cell phone don't like to sync up very nicely, but anyway, I'm sure I could see your questions and everything here. So far, okay. If you've been following us, especially on my blog and here on Facebook, yesterday we were down at Walt Disney World, our favorite place in the whole world. And yes, we are Disney destination specialists. Besides doing other worldwide destinations, all cruises, land and river cruises. We do escorted tours, theme excursions and trips, and if you're into art or if you're into bicycles or whatever your activities are, we want to do what you want. But especially Walt Disney World, I think and it's been the #1 destination not only for families and young families, but adults, including those my age, 50 and older, that grew up with Mickey and Minnie and all the great stories, because they're not just cartoons, they're stories. And Disney is just a great thing, especially here in Central Florida, because without Mr. Disney and Walt Disney World, which is the largest employer in the world, period, in the hospitality industry, if you can get working there, it's a great place to work for. And remember, Disney is not just Walt Disney World and the movies and the studios. It's also the Adventures by Disney, which is their tour company to go to escorted tours all around the world, including they partnered with some river cruises. The Disney Cruise Line, of course, Alani in Hawaii, and Disneyland in California. So since we live 10 minutes away from Walt Disney World, we like to go down there, especially when there's new and exciting things going on to bring to you live, which we were doing. But for those that couldn't make it, we'd like to give you some updates today. So I'm going to read some notes, so forgive me, and I'll put my glasses on. And yes, if you're noticing, I got my hair cut today. If you like it, let me know, and I appreciate it. Put my old lady glasses on right now. But anyway, for those that have been following, and I did have some updates from when we were at Disney Springs. We park at Disney Springs versus parking directly at the resort or at the theme park itself, is because the resorts now charge for parking. It's about $14 a day, whether you're a visitor or not. The resorts themselves, we do have annual park tickets, but the parking sometimes can be quite a ways walking from the parking area. So what we do here locally is we park at Disney Springs. If you're familiar or if not, Disney Springs is the shopping center, and they have not only Disney themed stores, like the largest Walt Disney World store there. So if you're going shopping at any of the theme parks, I would say wait and go shopping at this store, Disney Springs, and get everything there, and then take it back with you to the resort, because if not, you're going to be carrying bags all over the theme park. Or you could have your packages sent back to you. Another benefit of staying at a property at Walt Disney World is if you go shopping and you have all those shopping bags and you're at one of the 4 theme parks, you could ask the people at that store where you bought your souvenirs from, can you send this over to my resort? And they will do it, and it will be at the bell stand, and you got to be staying there You can't be leaving the resort to go back home the same day you purchase something and do that. You have to do that at least a day before, or 2 days before. Don't mind me, I'm sorry. My allergies are killing me. So anyway, you want to be able to do that at least 24 to 48 hours before you head home, or you may or may not get your packages. This way, you know that they're there at your resort when you return. And again, that is only a benefit for staying on property at Walt Disney World Resorts. When we entered the Disney Springs yesterday, again, it's free parking, and the stores are open from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. because there's a lot of nighttime entertainment going on, and the entertainment's free. Unless you're at the House of Blues and you're going to sit down and have dinner or something, then you pay for that. But there's a lot of free entertainment going around Disney Springs. Who's ever there, say hi and send some love. We appreciate it very much. As mentioned, Disney Springs, when we walked in by the Cirque du Soleil tent, which is still there. They are getting and updating that tent, and yes, last December they did close, but they will be opening a new show there, and as soon as that's available, we'll bring you the latest on that, because we love the old show, so we can't wait to see the new one. Across from that is the new NBA experience. Now, I had said on the video that it's not open yet, and I did not know the dates of opening, but the NBA store experience is now open. The full NBA experience opens August 12th, and you can actually purchase tickets online. I have the ticket prices here, which is going to be, and again, like I said, I have my glasses on, $34 plus taxes. It's a one-day, and you can actually literally play against, visually get your favorite NBA team, like the Knicks from New York, or if you're a Celtics fan, or down here the Orlando team or something like that, you could do that. You get over 98 pictures, which are included in that day pass. It is not included in your Walt Disney World hopper tickets or theme park tickets. It's a separate event ticket. You don't have to be staying at Walt Disney World to do that event. There's no entrance fee for Disney Springs. Go there. I highly recommend you purchase your tickets online at disneysprings.com and purchase your tickets there. They will be having discounted tickets. You could also look at Groupon sometimes for discounts. But if you're an NBA fan, this may be something you're very interested in. So again, the NBA store is open. You could get the shirts and the shorts and all kinds of souvenirs from the NBA, from all your favorite teams. But the actual NBA experience, which is right next to it, and if you have been to Disney Springs in the past, it is the old Disney Quest building. So if you've been in there, which was an indoor arcade and indoor amusement park, that closed almost 2 years ago, and now they have the NBA experience in there. And again, August 12th, there's no previews of that. You gotta start purchasing your tickets now. So, excuse me. If I will have those videos that or Facebook Live videos that I took yesterday, and they will be up on my blog, on YouTube, on our echeveriatravel.com homepage, with more information of what I've been talking about today underneath the video. So if you missed anything or you want to see this again, please do. But again, we love talking to you live and answering your questions. Also, Echeverria Travel has been around since 2008. We started in New York from the Long Island area, Suffolk County, Brentwood. Hi, Brentwood family, how are you? We have not forgotten you. We still service all 50 states from New York. We have clients in Washington State. We have people in Utah. We have people in Florida, California. We service all U.S. citizens throughout all 50 states, including our military family living abroad. As long as you're military and living on a military base, we can help you. Even if you're military and living out of state, DD214s. If you're retired, we can help you with discounts on travel. So 407-910-6469. That is not for text messaging. Please don't try to text message that number. Please also, as I've stated, I'm visually impaired. I do not like using text messaging if I don't have to. So Facebook chat is great. Email is preferred to get in touch with us, and then we could either set up locally a face-to-face. We can do a video chat. We can do so many things now with electronics, and also phone and email. So don't forget, we service not only New York and Florida, we service all 50 states. So I also like to let you know a little more about Disney Springs before we move on to the Coronado Springs. As I mentioned, Disney Springs is the shopping center for Walt Disney World. It's separate. It's part of Walt Disney World, and it's open to everybody without a theme park ticket. What's good about this is there is to get around is the water taxis that take you from one side, from the marketplace to the west side. It is very big, so you may want to take one of the water taxis, which are free to use. It also takes you, the water taxis, over to Saratoga Springs, which is one of the Disney Vacation Club resorts. It's also considered a luxury resort on Disney property. It takes you to the Walt Disney World golf course. It takes you to the moderate resorts, which is Old Key West. It takes you to Port Orleans Riverside. It takes you to Port Orleans French Quarter. So, and it also has buses there, which you'll see in our video, that takes you to all the other resorts as well, including the ones that I just mentioned, starting at 10 a.m. in the morning until 2 a.m. These buses also go to the theme parks after 4 p.m. They do not go to Magic Kingdom or Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom until 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., they will go back and forth between the theme parks and your resort. So, either way. The other thing is the new Skyline is opening on, and that date is, it was just announced today, the gondolas, or the Disney Skyliners. If you've been to Disney recently or seen our posts, they're beautiful. If you're an old timer like me, and I'm in my 50s, so I'm considered an old timer, when they used to have a Skyliner that went from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland in Walt Disney World. It's similar to that, but it's bigger and longer, and these will actually connect Hollywood Studios and Epcot from 4 different resorts. These are Art of Animation, which is a value resort, Pop Century, which is a value resort, Caribbean Beach Resort, which I've stayed at with my daughter Dina, and I do have some videos on YouTube of that. That was from back in 2011. Don't contact from that phone number that's on there because that's old. Is a moderate resort that was just renovated. And also the brand new Riviera Hotel, which is a deluxe luxury resort that's opening in December. We are now taking reservations for the Riviera. Again, that's a deluxe luxury resort. And as I mentioned in the past, there are 3 different levels of service, and all of them are great Disney services. You can't sneeze at any of them. They're all decorated and themed to that particular resort, and all of them have food. They have food courts, they have restaurants, they have swimming pools, you got movies under the stars, you got all your transportation to all the theme parks, resorts, Disney Springs, the shopping. You know, there's so much benefits that are included in your package, and your dining and your theme park tickets are customizable. So that is why you need a specialist like Echeverria Travel to point you in the right direction, to help you make sure you're getting what you want and don't overspend what you don't need. Now, while we were there also, Oh, yes, these gondolas are fully enclosed. If you've seen things that almost like a ski lift, but it's fully enclosed. You can fit up to 10 people. They are wheelchair accessible, so if you're worried about being in a wheelchair and can't get on or something like that, they're very big to get into. And they're very, like I said, they connect those four resorts, and then it also goes from Epcot to Hollywood Studios. So it more and more ideas are coming about at Disney to get you around. Another thing that is coming up in reference of getting around at Walt Disney World, there's a new walkway that is being built from the Grand Floridian over to the Magic Kingdom. So you like to walk, you're in a wheelchair, you're in a scooter, you don't want to wait for the monorail, because the monorail can sometimes take a long time to get in, or sometimes it's overcrowded and you just don't want to wait for the monorail. You could actually walk from the Grand Floridian over to the Magic Kingdom. I wouldn't do it on a day like today, which is 100 degrees out with the humidity. So again, let's think of our health as well. We went on Sunday because it was the first week that the new Gran Destino Tower opened at the Disney Coronado Springs Resort. We have been there in the past. I will repost our YouTube video of the Coronado Springs Resort. It is decorated, and the theme of it is Old Spanish, New Spanish, from Mexico to Spain. They have haciendas, which are smaller buildings across the old part of Coronado Springs. Coronado Springs is also the largest property of all the 25, soon to be 27 resorts at Walt Disney World, and it's moderate priced resorts. It starts about $250 per person, double occupancy, and there's adjusted price for the kids, so don't think it's $1,000 a day per person. It really isn't if you plan correctly. When you go is also important as well. So there are different pricing available. Don't let the media scare you. Oh my God, the prices went up again. Things go up in life, and we just have to save money to go. When we were little, we didn't go on a trip for. We saved up for 2 years ago. I can still do that. You don't have to do it today. Let's save up and plan it out and get the family involved on any trip you decide, and plan it out, and we'll let you know how the breakdown is and what it'll cost you per month, so you're not letting oh my God, that the mortgage, oh my God, the food bill, oh my God. Family is the most important thing, because one day, family, friends, everything you want to do, and they're all grown up, and you wish you did it. I did it with my family, loved it, so now I do it with my husband, whether it's by ourselves or with our grandchildren or whatever. We love doing it. So anyway, it's also a convention center at the Coronado Springs. We have many meeting rooms. Many meeting rooms there, many of the conventions there. In fact, they're having an international soccer game going on over at ESPN, and we saw some of the kids coming in, and I mean kids, they're like 12, 13 years old, coming in with their escorts and sponsors from different countries. I think they're coming in from Spain, that we met them, and they're coming in and they're doing tournaments and stuff over at ESPN, so it was getting very crazy. The new Gran Torino is actually called the tower there, Destino. I don't know why I want to call it the other one for it, but it's called Gran Destino, and it not only is it a moderate resort, they're offering something now for club resort option, where you have special rooms and special features. That's for people staying in those club level rooms. So it's actually 17 floors, and what I love about it is, and if you know me, and the last couple of years we've been planning trips to Spain. We actually had a group go last year. Unfortunately, I got sick, wound up in the hospital last year, and I couldn't go, but we will be going back to Spain. It is designed modern, but also has that hint of, if you've been to the Moorish part of Spain, more like that Muslim design, and I mean Muslim design, and I can't really explain it. You'll have to see my pictures of it, and video of us walking in, and you see the lighting and the different chairs, and the music is a little bit gypsy music, a little bit flamenco, a little bit of all different kinds of Spanish music all throughout the resort. This resort, like all the other resorts, has a pool area. If you're not staying at the resort, you cannot go into certain areas. Even us visiting the resort, we couldn't go into the pool area because that's private desk for the guests staying there, but we did take some pictures from the outside. They have dining options as well. I want to get into that. They have a beautiful pool there, and at night it lights up. It looks like the pyramids in Mexico, with water fountains coming out of it, and water slides and all that. Again, I'm sorry we couldn't get close to that, but one of the things we like about the resort, again, as you know, I'm visually impaired, but I've also had in the past some disabilities where I have had to use a scooter or wheelchair due to having anemia. Instead of me walking around and trying to catch up with everybody and running out of breath, we rent a scooter for me, so that way I can get around just like everybody else without holding people back. And the elevators there are wonderful. We had to go up to the 16th floor because that's where two of the restaurants are. But they have a lower level. They have the main level, which is your lobby, a lower level where you get to the coffee area and one of the bars there, and it takes you outside to the pool, and you can walk from the Gran Destino over to the haciendas and the convention building of Coronado Springs. It's just so lovely, and they have a big fountain in the middle, which you'll see on the video. Once I splice it all together, you'll see some of it below on our postings as well, but I'm going to make it all nice and put it all together as well, so you'll see what I'm talking about in those videos. Getting back to the elevator itself doesn't have the regular push buttons to get into the elevator like you would have outside a traditional elevator. They have a text pad on it, and some people that are blind are telling me, or going to say, oh my god, it's not accessible, it's not accessible. It's accessible. Right under the touchpad there is a button that pops out, and you can feel it. And for somebody that has sight, if you're in a wheelchair or you're a little person or something like that, it's high enough that you can push that button and it talks. And you could actually keep pushing the button till the floor that you want, and it'll tell you elevator C3, and they'll tell you the elevator is 2 doors down, or behind you and 2 doors down. And you walk in the elevator, and the elevator only has an open and close button, which it closes on its own, and it takes you to your level. If you're going to level 5, it'll only open at level 5 unless you have somebody going to 16 or something like that are using the same corridor as you are. But you'll hear your floor. You'll say floor 2. That person on floor 2 will get out. Then the next one will, but there are no elevator buttons. There are again, the touchpad. If somebody is sighted, you push your floor button, and you look above you, and the elevators are A through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, up to G, and it'll tell you where, it'll point on the pad where your elevator is, and it'll say C3, because you picked floor 3 or 4, 5, and you go to elevator C, and you go in your elevator, it'll close your door and let you off at floor 5. So that's really great to know. It's very accessible. Like I said, it talks to you, the pad, as long as you're pressing that accessible button on there. And like I said, it's a raised button. It has Braille on there. It's the only button that's raised on that whole text pad, so you can't miss it. It's very long, and you can't miss it at all. And if you need help, somebody will be glad to show you how to do it. Now, as I mentioned, we saw 2 of the restaurants. There was a total of 1. Take my glasses off a minute here. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 food options, including bars. And the one, actually 2 we got to see. One is called the Toledo Tapas Steak and Seafood, and that's open for lunch, and it has all different kinds of Spanish food there. When we walked in, and I have some pictures there, if you like jamon, and I've showed you pictures of that from J-Lo at Disney Springs, it's traditional that you have the full leg of ham hanging there, which is actually cured ham. You can eat it. Then they have a case underneath it with the freshly made breads and the cheeses of all the different Spanish nations. There is a full sit-down option for you. Very beautifully designed with the windows are, I'm going to say, oval shaped, and they have circles inside the oval shaped, and you're overlooking not only the resort, but you can see for miles the treetops and how far the property of Walt Disney goes. Remember, Walt Disney World is twice the size of Manhattan Island, so you got to think about that when you're going as well. And you're not going to see everything. I haven't seen everything yet either. Even if you're the most experienced and been going to Disney since you were 2 and you're 50 like I am, you're not going to see everything there. On your first, second, third, fourth visit, you're going to be there. So please remember, we are live, so remember to ask a question here. So besides that, we also got to see Dahlias. Dahlias is also another, let me just get to the page with it. It's another dining option at Coronado Springs at the Gran Destino. And that, why didn't I print that out? Dahlias is actually similar to that restaurant, but it's more of a casual bar atmosphere. So you have that 2 options there. You also have the Maya Grill. You have also a food court there. You have all different kinds of options, including coffee, specialty bar. You have dining outside at the campfire, or dining or eating outside as well. Your dining package with Disney does cover those restaurants and options. So any questions and concerns about Disney's Coronado Springs, please let me know here, as well as Disney Springs. And I highly recommend, if you're going to be planning a family trip to Walt Disney World, is you start planning now for at least 180 days, at least 6 to 7 months out. And people asking me, when is the best time to go? When are the prices lower? And that's with any travel plans, it's when you can go. The more you plan out, whether it's high season or low season, and I know many people don't want to hear that, but if you plan it out enough, you can go anytime. High season is right now because it's hot, the kids are out of school, there's a lot of tournaments going on at, like I said, at Aspen with the different schools around the world. They have cheerleader championships different times of the year. They have the marathons going on. It's not just the theme parks, it's not just the water parks. There's many things and activities that go on, including the food and wine expo that is coming up at the end of, actually the beginning of August this year through November 1st, so it gets earlier and earlier, just like the Spring and Flower was still going on when we were there. These festivals longer and longer. The Christmas season starts, as soon as Halloween is over, they start decorating for Halloween, and Christmas. I would suggest if you want to go for Christmas, don't go Christmas week. I know that's when the kids are off from school, but if you could go Thanksgiving, take the whole family. Walt Disney World, you could do a group. Don't do the cooking, let Disney do the cooking for you. Go the day before Thanksgiving, take an extra day, that Monday off from school, get the homework. I know teachers put homework online and the kids have to submit homework online. Talk to your teachers. Teachers, you know that's the best time to go unless there's a test. And it's all decorated for Christmas. You don't have to be there on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to get all the holidays in. Spring break is another time where it's extremely busy. If you want to go for spring break, start planning now. Next summer, start planning now. 2021 is going to be the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. If you want to be there, October 1st, 2021. That is the official date of the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. Start planning soon. We could plan your room up to 499 days prior to your arrival. And when the packages come out, we could add them, and either the price will go down or whatever we have to do, we can adjust that. The only thing you can't do is purchase airfare. You can't purchase your dining, and you can't purchase your theme park tickets yet because they don't have the current rates. But you can put a $200 deposit down and hold your room. You can't do it online. A travel agent has to do that. You have to call us and arrange that for you. Your dining experiences, your reservations need to start and be booked by 180 days out. If you're staying on property, you have 60 to 90 days to book your fast passes. After that, if you're not staying on property, you're going to have to wait until it's your time to open and book your fast passes. People staying on property have priority all over those that are not staying on property. Thursday, hopefully we'll be back with other information for you. Friday is sales specials for the week. Remember to follow us on EcheveriaTravel.com blog. We are having another virtual cruise night for first-time cruisers with Carnival Cruise Line on July 30th, 2019 from 7 to 8 p.m. And that's on our events page here. So you can please register for that, your name, your email, and who is your travel agent, because Echeveria Travel is hosted by Cruises and Tours Unlimited, and we have over 5,000 travel agents. Yes, we're not dead, we're there. We may not have storefronts, we're online, we're real business people there to serve you. So make sure you put your first name, your last name, and your email, so if you're registered, we know who to thank. And if you win any prizes or anything from Carnival, we could send them to you. For more information, follow us here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're on all the social media outlets, as well as sign up for our e-newsletter right here on Facebook. We say Hablo Espanol, but because of the legalities of it, we cannot put documents in alternative languages. Because of legal issues, we cannot transfer written documents from our suppliers due to their contracts. So we cannot do that, but we can help you plan your trip in Spanish, but all documentations will be in English. Thank you again. Cheryl Echeverria signing off, and please follow us. Any questions, concerns, let us know.